Most of us are taught that our value comes from working harder, longer hours, more effort, more sacrifice. We believe if we just do more, we'll finally be recognized. But what if that whole belief is a trap? What if the problem isn't that you're not doing enough, but that you're trying to prove your worth in a place that doesn't even know how to measure what you do? This very question is at the heart of Daniel's story. His skill never changed, but his value swung wildly in a single, transformative day. Let's start in Daniel's world. Imagine a cramped attic workshop, squeezed between concrete buildings that block out most of the sky. The ceiling slopes so low, he's learned to hunch without even noticing, as if the room itself has trained his body to shrink. A single, bare bulb flickers overhead, humming faintly, casting an uneven light across shelves, overflowing with cracked lenses, bent frames, and shards of glass, sorted with obsessive precision. To anyone else it looks like clutter. To Daniel, it's a quiet library of unfinished ideas. This is where he's worked for years. Not loudly, not visibly, but carefully. Right now, he's leaning over his scarred wooden bench, holding a small optical instrument. It's made of brass and hand-cut glass. At its very center sits a prism he has spent weeks shaping by hand. It doesn't sparkle or beg for attention, but when light enters at just the right angle, it fractures into clean, deliberate bands of color. No distortion, no noise, just pure precision. Daniel rotates the prism a fraction of a degree. The weak bulb light passes through and separates perfectly. In that moment, the world makes sense, and that moment of correctness matters more to him than praise ever has. Why would someone spend weeks perfecting something most people wouldn't even look at twice? Because Daniel believes what many of us forget, that correctness has value, even when it isn't applauded. Then, the door slams open. The sound cuts through the quiet like a verdict. Victor, the shop owner, strides in. He drops a sack of broken glasses onto the bench. The metal clinks sharply. "I need these fixed by Monday," he says, his voice flat. No experiments. Daniel flinches, his hand instinctively shielding the prism, as if the words alone could harm it. "Look at this," he says carefully, lifting the instrument. The angles allow the light to separate so cleanly. It could be used for demonstrations, for exhibits, for teaching. Victor squints for half a second, not long enough to understand, but just long enough to dismiss. "It's glass in a metal frame," he says. "At the street market, that's worth $2, maybe." Daniel tries to explain the calculations, the tolerances, the weeks of tiny adjustments, but Victor doesn't let him finish. "You repair lenses," he says bluntly. "You're not a scientist. The market doesn't pay for ideas. It pays for fast fixes." The door closes, and the attic feels smaller than ever before. Daniel stands there in the silence, holding his creation. The colors are still there, but now they feel fragile, almost imaginary. He considers dismantling it, reusing the materials for something useful, something acceptable. For the first time, he wonders if all his careful work is foolish, or worse, he asks himself, isn't it strange how quickly doubt arrives when recognition doesn't? Why does dismissal from the wrong person feel so final? By afternoon, the prism rests on a roadside stall, surrounded by plastic toys, cheap electronics, and shouting vendors. The air is thick with dust and oil. People stream past without a second glance. A man stops, picks it up, turns it over once. "What does it do?" he asks. "It demonstrates light separation," Daniel says. "It's hand-cut, calibrated." The man just shrugs. "I don't need a lesson. $2. He sets it down and walks away. Daniel doesn't try to explain anymore. Something inside him just closes. Standing there, he has a chilling realization. In this place, subtlety has no value. Precision has no language. And a thought forms quietly but firmly in his mind. Maybe the work is invisible because it is ordinary. Maybe I am ordinary. This is the most dangerous moment for any of us. It's not failure. It's not even rejection. It's the moment you start editing yourself to fit into the wrong room. That evening, Daniel finds himself standing before the National Science and Art Museum. The building rises calmly, unapologetic in its silence. He steps inside, and the noise of the city disappears. The air cools. Here, light isn't accidental. It's designed. Daniel feels exposed in his worn coat, holding a small velvet case. He approaches a glass desk where Dr. Eleanor Hayes, a senior curator, sits. She doesn't rush. She doesn't offer a polite, empty smile. "You mentioned an optical instrument," she says, her tone professional. Daniel opens the case. He places the prism on the desk and adjusts it beneath the gallery lights. And then it happens. The spectrum blooms across the white surface, clean, balanced, exact. Dr. Hayes says nothing. She studies the angles with a magnifier. She moves closer, changes the light source, and watches again. Minutes stretch into a long, heavy silence. The kind of silence that, for Daniel, usually comes right before rejection. "Someone told me it wasn't worth anything," he says quietly. "Just glass in a frame." Dr. Hayes finally looks up. "That person," she says, "evaluated it in a place that doesn't require understanding. She turns the prism one last time. This isn't decoration. This is instructional precision. There's a pause. Museums don't collect pieces because they're loud, she continues. We collect them because they're correct. She sets the prism down, carefully. We would value this at no less than $20,000. $20,000, Daniel feels unsteady, on his feet. I thought I was just a repairman, he admits. I thought my work didn't matter. Dr. Hayes offers a smile, not a kind one, but an honest one. Your work didn't change today, she says. Only its surroundings did. Value isn't created by recognition. It's revealed by the right context. As Daniel steps back outside into the sunset, his posture is different. The city hasn't changed. The noise is still the same, but his understanding of himself is transformed. I spent years, he reflects, trying to be understood by people who had no reason to understand me. I believed working harder would raise my worth in a place that never even learned how to measure it. He looks back at the museum doors. The lesson is powerful. If you feel unseen, don't rush to the conclusion that you lack value. Ask yourself a better question. Am I actually undervalued, or am I just standing in an environment that doesn't know how to read my signal? Some places reward noise. Others reward clarity. Some markets pay for speed. Others pay for correctness. Your light may already be precise. Your work may already be complete. The final step isn't to change who you are, but to find the place that knows how to let you shine. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that challenges how we see ourselves and the world.